Okay, and we're back. So we were talking about how to get this, find the second triangle. Okay, so we use this concept that when that leg was swung out and then swung back in, it formed an isosceles triangle. So we used that original 64.8 degrees to find this angle at B prime. Okay, and then its supplement, okay, or linear pair is going to make a linear pair with this obtuse angle here at B prime. All right, so we did 180 minus the 64.8 to find that obtuse angle of 115.2. Okay, so now you have two of your three angles. You can subtract to find angle C, and angle C is going to be 44.3 degrees. Okay, so let's see. The only thing we need now is we need this distance. Let's change color again. Okay, so you need this distance of this small side from A to B prime. Okay, so in this triangle, that's going to be side C. Okay, so this is 44.3 degrees. All right, so since we want to find side C, we're going to do side C over the sine of 44.3 degrees. And we can use, it doesn't matter which other angle pair that you use, but I think I'm going to go with 12 and the sine of 20.5 degrees. Okay, so we're going to cross multiply. So it's going to be C times the sine of 20.5 degrees equals 12 times the sine of 44.3. Calculator, you're going to solve, and you're going to get 23.9 is your length for side C. Okay. Okay, I know that one is kind of tough to see, so we may need to go over another one of those in class when I see you all together next week. Okay, we have law of sines using a couple of kind of like application problems. So let's look at a couple of these. Example 7, two ranger stations are on an east-west line 110 miles apart. Okay, so east-west. A forest fire is located on a bearing of north 42 degrees east from the western station at A. Okay, so so here's our station A, north, and then 42 degrees towards the east, and a bearing of north 15 degrees east from the eastern station at B. How far is the fire from the western station? Okay, the other piece of information we know is the distance between A and B is 110 miles. Okay, so what is it we're looking for? How far is the fire from the western station? Okay, so our fire is up here at C. The western station is A. So we are looking for this side of B. Okay, well, what information do we know? Okay, let's go here. All right, well, north to east, you know that's a 90-degree angle. So subtract 42, and you're going to get 48 degrees for this portion of the angle. Trying to see what's going to be helpful. Okay, here you have 90 degrees. Okay, but then it's 15 from that north, it's 15 degrees farther east. So that means this whole angle at B is 105 degrees, which you can then subtract and find angle C to be 27 degrees. Okay, so does this information help us? And it actually does, because you know side AB, which would be small side C. Okay, we have that distance of 110 miles, and you know angle C. So I have 110, so I can make that ratio. Sine of 27 degrees is, now we want side B, and we found angle B to be 105 degrees. So there is your setup for that one. Again, cross multiply, and you can solve. And B is going to be 234.04 miles. Okay, so 234 miles from that ranger station. Okay, so here's another example, and again, dealing with bearings. So a plane flies with a bearing of 232 degrees from A to B. Okay, so you've got this. So there's your bearing of 232 degrees. Then changes course and flies from B to C with a bearing of 140 degrees. So here's that 140 degree angle. Finally, the plane flies 8 miles from C to A with a bearing of 0. So they're going due north. Find the total length of the trip. Okay, so we need to find the lengths of both of the other sides of our triangle. All right, so what information do we know? Or what other information can we find? Well, if you look at angle A, you have 232 degrees. Well, that going from north to south is 180 degrees. So if you subtract 180, you can find that this angle is 52 degrees. Let's see, what else do we know? Okay, so here, got to remember back to geometry a little bit. You've got a north-south line here. You have a north-south line here. Okay, this is going to be a transversal. Okay, so this whole angle is 180 degrees. So if this portion of it's 140 degrees, that means that portion is 40 degrees. Okay, alternate interior angles will then tell you that this angle is 40 degrees also. Okay, let's get some of these extra lines out of the way. Okay, I'm going to keep that one. All right, so 40 degrees at C, 40 degrees this angle here at B. And okay, so now with the 52 degrees and the 40 degrees, we have 2 of the 3 angles. I can subtract from 180, and this portion of the angle is going to be 88 degrees. Okay, which means this portion is 52 degrees. So we have that split up into 3 angles. All right, and we needed that 88 degree angle at B so that we can set up our law of sines with that 8 miles. So we've got 8 miles, sine of 88 degrees, And now we can find one of the other sides. Okay, let's just go for A. So let's find side A is sine of 52 degrees. Again, however you want to solve your proportion, you can cross multiply. You can multiply both sides by sine of 52. Either way is fine. And when you solve for A, it's about 6.31. Okay, then we're going to need to set up another law of sines and find side C. So side C divided by the sine of 40 degrees. Again, solving. And C is going to equal about 5.15 and miles. Okay, so we were looking for the total length of the trip. So you have 8 plus 6.31 plus 5.15. So total trip is 19.46 miles. Okay, there's another example here. I think we'll skip number 9 at the moment. We may need to come back to that in class, but I want to go down here to number 10 and show this one to you just quickly. All right, you all know area formula for a triangle is 1/2 the base times the height. Well, there are other formulas for area, and one of them involves sine. Okay, so you've got 3 different versions of this. Basically, it is 1/2 the lengths of the 2 sides and then the sine of the other angle. Okay, so for the first one, if I'm using side A and B, then it's going to be sine of C. Okay, for the second version, if I'm using sides B and C, then I need to know angle A, so I can do sine of angle A. All right, so here's an example. This one, I don't know side C. I know angle C. Okay, so then I'm going to be using side A and side B. So the one I want is going to be this first one. Okay, so area equals 1/2. And again, it's just plugging into this formula. So 90 is side A times 52 is side B. And then we're going to go sine of angle C, 102 degrees. Again, that's just calculator work. And you get an area of 2,288.87 square units. Okay, and that's that formula. So pretty easy there. Now, sometimes if you're using that to find the area of a triangle, it may not be that you're given the exact right information. So you might have to maybe use law of sines or law of cosines to find a side, and then you'd have enough of the right information that you can plug in and use this formula for area.